Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Should we allow our partners have access to our phones? Should we have access to each other's phones? We've talked about this issue before, but clearly the debate is far from over. In fact, it's getting hotter than ever. Some say love should come with total transparency, no secrets, no privacy walls. If there's nothing to hide, why should your partner not know your password? Must love come with surveillance? As the definition of trust become, check my phone if you doubt me. That's why we're having this conversation. I think we also discussed earlier this week about what Teddy Babyface said concerning if you are caught, don't confess, all of that. It's all linked together. Join the conversation by calling us on the number on the screen, 020-163-52013 or 090-241-63440. I would like to hear your opinion on this because while I feel like I've discussed it many times, Nima too feels like she's discussed it many times. Ramatu is itchy to discuss this matter of password. So Ramatu, where do you stand? Passworded or no passworded? Do you declare everything or we should not declare everything?
I don't understand. With all the topics, that's the only topic that I feel that, you know, it's different and understand. So for me, I don't think we should disclose passwords to our spouses because for me, personally, what I think is what I don't know will not hurt me, and you know, and the fact that most times, you know, there are some messages that will come into a phone and you don't know what they've talked about physically, and then it comes, you just go, you read it, can cause problem. What you don't know, there's this Hausa adage, they said, "Zato zunubi ne ko da ya kasance da gaske ne." What it means is that anything that will breed suspicion, just make sure that you avoid it as much as possible, because once you start, you know, once you know all of these things, start being nosy into all of these things, it can cause problems to you. Not just maybe physical, it can cause maybe between you and your husband, you guys can have issues, and not only that, even you can fall sick and maybe have high blood pressure because of things like that, you know. So it's going to cause more problems and everything. So for me, if you're in a marriage, trust is very, very important. Just trust that your partner is taking care of themselves and making sure that the relationship is, you know, there's trust and understanding between the two of you. But other than that, I don't think I want you to have my password, or I don't want to have his password, and I don't want him to have my password. I don't want to have anything to do with his phone, and she don't have anything to do with my own phone, so that there will be peace and understanding, because you don't want to be going through having to explain every damn thing every single time, you understand? So I don't think I should have my husband's password. Okay. That's what I think.
Amaka,
okay,
is it trust or not?
So for me, I'm going to play devil's advocate here and there, because I don't understand how you share something with somebody, share everything with somebody, you're intimate with somebody. They've seen the most intimate part of you, and then your phone should be restricted. I'm the kind of person that you can drop your phone beside me, and it will not even occur to me to touch it. I won't touch your phone because that's just
respect.
Just respect, and I don't expect the same. But you don't need to. If I have the password, that doesn't mean I sit down every day, I carry your phone, and I'm going through it, right? Because because you need to understand that it's not even about cheating. Sometimes the girls have certain conversations. The boys have certain conversations. You're entitled to your banter with your friends without someone breathing down your neck. Because it's so funny how most times, like, you find out that maybe a woman hangs out with her husband and his guys, and then by the time you enter the car, you're quarreling with the guy because he had a certain opinion, or he says, allow him breathe. Like, he's allowed to be himself, to have certain opinions, have certain conversations, and he might know, have an idea of what you like or what you don't like, and then he's pretending. So same thing as most of these guys, they have, or women too, we have our group chats where we discuss certain things, where we're mischievous, where we banter.
Where we can be petty, and not see.
And you don't want your partner judging you on that. It's just banter, right? But that doesn't mean that they shouldn't have access to your phone. So that passwording is where I have a problem. You can just not password your phone, have your phone there, but also have mutual respect for each other and know where to draw the line. That's my take on it.
I'm with you, Amaka, on this one. I believe that trust is the foundation. There's no point if you are with somebody that you're vulnerable with all the time, mostly, and they've seen everything. a password of phone be your problem. It's like people don't have a problem. But in some marriages, there's an underlying problem of insecurity of either spouses, either the woman or the man. And it's from that point that password becomes the problem. Password was never the problem. In my marriage, for instance, we have everybody's password. My husband is the most trusted person to me on earth. And that's the truth, with due respect to my siblings. Because I want to trust my sibling, and then they trust their own partners. And then I refuse to trust my own partner. You know, so build your own home, build your branch of the family, build it. And I say this because a lot of African men think, no, their siblings are more important than their partners. It's usually on the dying bed when you ask all those nurses who are with geriatrics patients that, you know, you find out differently. Really, the reality is that it's you and that person that you want to do life with all the way. So password of the phone, for me, those are the littlest things to fight over. Let the other person have your password. We're talking the other day about women having secret properties, and I was like, hey, my hand is not there. Because in all of this, our insecurities, we've enriched the wrong people.
Exactly.
We've
many money left in the banks. Many
properties hidden that agent is looking for the family. They did not hear from the owner. There was one funny story. I think it was Tools or Gbemi, one of them. One of them.
They have a podcast together.
Yes, that shared that story of how somebody wrote saying that his landlord used to ask for his rent at due date and everything. And then for the past 2 years, he lives alone in the property belonging to somebody, and nobody has reached out to him. So he on his own now decided to use the account number and the name on the receipt to trace, only to find out the person's obituary. He saw it somewhere. No family member has reached out to him. How is
so that property was not known?
Yes. Recently, the UK released most secretive properties list in fact, Yoruba people na try. Now live for UK now, na list now, na name plenty pass for that list. And a lot of them, no family members to trace it. Is that how we plan to live life? A lot of these things that we worry about, I always say, I don't, you see this peace, just to enjoy my life, and because how many years gone is the life? I want to go peacefully. I don't want problem. I don't want to leave problem for my loved ones when I'm going, and I don't want to carry problem when I'm going. You know? Keep the details you need to keep. Trust the people that are around you. They say that body, they hide body for who go back. You they hide body, they hide password. Me, if my husband were to open my phone, he go retire.
Yes, now.
I go retire because there are ways I distress. I have group of friends for this, sibling group for that. Sometimes it's the subject matter. Yes, it can be the subject matter. It can be, you know, and we would just be laughing, and these are my getaways. So you cannot come and stress me about such a thing. I cannot. My kids have password to all my phones.
That's even another category.
Yes,
because I cannot even hide it.
Last week, I dragged little man to POS and gave him the card. I've dragged madam to POS. She does, we pay when we go shopping. But recently, I dragged her to an ATM and said, this is how an ATM works. This is what it's for. I showed her and she put the card on. She already has the pin. Little man too, because you don't know when, you don't know how. My father used to write me letters on, you know, all his protests back then in the civil service. He would write them. I would read them. I remember reading letter of his first salary, 160 naira salary letter. I remember, so you cannot hide from the people you would leave things. See, he's died 5 years now. Imagine that we are still reading, uncovering things, you know. Because a lot of things, you share information with your loved ones. Take it to your marriage. If the person you cannot share, then there's a problem. There's an underlying problem. It's either you go and deal with the problem first, whether you should continue life or you should not continue. Find somebody else, because in this life you must have that one person in your circle. That one person.
What if you've already married an insecure person?
What if your choice?
You are already in a relationship and you love an insecure person. The person is amazing on many areas, but he is insecure. So he or she is insecure. The person just feels like maybe people carry baggages. So what if you're in a relationship with someone whose parents had infidelity in their history? So that person is not dealing with you based on how you've treated him or her. Is dealing with you based on the infidelity they've experienced in their parents. If you date or marry an infidelity, somebody that has insecurity,
we need to be wise. We need to be wise.
So how would you advise that person?
Recently, my friend was dealing with somebody in a marriage. She's dealing with somebody very insecure about, you know, this kind of things. So who is talking to you, who is chatting with you. When the problem became too much, she dragged him. She invited a few friends who were coaches to the house as if it was a mistake for lunch, and they were just chatting and talking about it. And then those people kept dropping, go for therapy, he should go for therapy. They gave examples of people who have come for therapy without dropping their professional, their profile. Just chatting, and he was just enjoying the conversation. They were able to go to therapy, and their marriage is still going on. If I said deal with the problem, if the problem is undealable, maybe you should deal with life.
Like for example,
let me take Benga. I'll come to you, Amaka. Benga, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Thank you so much. For me, I don't want to have a high blood pressure, but I decide not to look on or check my wife's phone. So I avoid problem. And based on what you just said, I trusted my wife. I see no reason why I should be looking at her phone. And she has never for once check my phone for any messages I've dropped. But if a call coming in, I say, my dad, the phone is ringing. So friend is calling. Likewise myself. Because I trust my wife. To avoid trouble, I decide not to check anything on her phone. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so it's exactly what I wanted to say. I just think it's rude, even if you have access to my password, right? Or my access to my password, I do the same for you. If my phone rings, it's rude for you to pick up and answer the call. Yeah. You should tell me, oh, your phone is babe, your phone is ringing, Even if the phone, you bring the phone to me, or the phone is done ringing, and I come, you say, oh, you have a missed call, Nobody should be picking any, there must be mutual respect, regardless of whether you have access to. There must be boundaries. So many people's children have access to their password, their password. Because even with kids, by the time you change the password, I don't know how children, they know how to do that thing. They still know it. They still know it. So even if the husband or the wife wants to know password, they know who to ask, right? But it's just the same thing as, let's say you're dating somebody and I give you the keys to my house and vice versa. That doesn't mean I don't want to come back from work and I see you sitting down in my house. For me to still come to visit you, for me to come to your house, I should still just say, I'm coming over, I'll be at your place. It's simple respect and boundaries, mutual respect. And it's important. You have access to me, but there still must be boundaries that must be respected. That's the way I see it.
For me, I want to ask you about emergencies, because you were the one that brought up the fact that you don't need to have somebody's password. And I know that you came from it, you came into that realization from the place of trust, and you feel like, I don't need to know. But what about cases of emergencies? There are scenarios where the person with the money is in that account, and the person is incapacitated, and you need to raise funds, and you don't have access to that person's account, that person's phone, that person's money. How do you deal with emergencies? What's the structure you would advise for a place where you want trust and you still want to manage emergencies?
Okay, so that's a different conversation. That's a different conversation. You don't need to have access to my phone because of emergencies or something like that. We can talk about when emergencies come up. If you are a couple, you are married, and you have not talked about the emergency, when things happen, how you resolve it, how you get money and all of that, then you should start having that conversation now. That's a different conversation. You do not have to have access to my phone. For me, this phone issue I'm talking from experience because it has happened to me before, and I made up my mind that I'm never going to check phone, because if I have your password, trust me, I'm going to check that phone. I'll check it because maybe one day, maybe I'm sitting down and I'm lonely or I'm alone and everything. I'll be like, let me just get the phone because I know the password. Of course, I'll just put in the password and start reading messages and all. And I've realized that a lot of messages that are on the phone are mostly, you give it a different interpretation. And I don't want to put myself in that space. And you see, like this, my business phone, I get a lot of calls from women because there are some men that call and maybe they want to buy granola oil. I have a particular customer that buys acha a lot. He called in several times. There was a time his wife called and said, hello, who are you? What are you doing with my husband? What are you doing with my husband? Why do you have my husband's number?
Did you not read the message that is
and I was wondering because she saw the product is a product where I said, I can see product there. It's a lie. You are lying. You just disguised. You just put picture there. There's something going on between you. How come he called you several times today? You must explain. I hung up. She sent me. If you see the messages she sent, so you can imagine just that little this thing. I can imagine what should have gone to go and you know, should have got to go and confront the husband, and that thing can cause problem and everything.
Underlying problem for their
yes,
marriage.
they have underlying problem. So anything that will even cause issue, as far as I'm concerned, just totally avoid.
If somebody chooses to read my own phone,
go tired.
You go tired because the number of toasters are just I'll block some. Hey, you're looking very beautiful this morning. Your husband must be very lucky. I'm like, these are
let's talk about the responsibility
messages
of women
and all of that. So I will block some. I will just ignore others. So if you pick my phone as per Ogamak say, I want to keep myself busy, he go just laugh tire. But he has the password. Yes. Let's take a quick break. When we return, we continue with the conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Before we went to the break, I said that I have plenty toasters. You two people have come for me. How can you? How did they have your number? Why should they have your number? Somebody help me to reply. I do business. So via my business, my number is very public. But he bets this question. The responsibility of managing the people that come into your space as a person of trust. The responsibility of managing your partner's trust and managing your partner's emotions so that you don't put it in the person's face. How should you manage that relationship?
So you had alluded to it earlier when you talked about how you had to block people. So that's because of the nature of our work. If I see a comment that looks funny or a DM that is, I leave the first one. Maybe you just pay the compliment. Recently, I was going through Facebook and I saw consistent one that was saying he was dreaming that me and him do life together. This one must think I'm a 2 years old young girl. Which life are we doing together? And I'm go kill you. You know, I just said careful. I saw that I had blocked that comment before in the past and blocked them. Sometimes I have to delete them. Because as much as my partner is a secure person, you don't want to start whispers. We call it in Islam, whispers of the shaitan in their ears. You don't want to cause that insecurity because there's always an element of jealousy in every human being. And so we too, as the owner of the phone, must take deliberate effort to protect our spouses. For instance, we Muslims, I don't want to talk about you. I don't post pictures that, you know, allow you comments on shape, size, body, all of those things. That's the exclusive preserve of Mr. Zibiri.
And yeah, they still complain.
They comment. So I carefully don't post. Then when I do, or sometimes we are dancing and somebody say our back, delete the comment, delete the and sometimes unfollow the people so that my partner knows that he's with a responsible person. He builds trust. Knowing how responsibly you carry yourself also gives your partner this rest of mind and peace that you continue to build the trust in your home. Then we'll talk about the Snoopy.
Okay, so I want to ask this question. This question I want to ask.
Let me take Stephen's call. I'm so sorry.
Okay,
welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning, Stephen.
Yeah, looking awesome this morning.
Thank you, Stephen.
I love the topic here, you know. As husband and wife, I don't know the reason why my wife, you know, have access to my phone or password. Any man, I believe, I'm a Christian, I'm a child of God. Any man that does that, I mean, there's a skeleton in your cupboard. You are hiding something. Because both of us, we are one body. You are one. We are one. We are married. We have a covenant together. Marriage is a covenant between two people. Now, I mean, if you have any secret thing or you have a side, I don't have. My wife is my side chick. My wife is so beautiful. I used to call her my Bugatti. If you see my wife, you see her almost. You don't understand it now. You see, this is all about maturity. Are you getting my point? Sometimes before God started blessing me, when my wife, when I drop my wife, you can start another car, park immediately, and I will be watching side mirror. I knew the person I married, even when I don't have money that time. By the grace of God, you cannot collect my wife. You can if my wife, see, I'm anointed. When I don't have money, when I'm telling you the truth, when I see any girl I've dated, sincerely speaking, you cannot drag woman with me. Either you have money or not. When I marry my wife, I don't have money, I don't have cars. I was living in one room, you know, in the one share toilet in Abuja. I'm into real estate. But now, by the grace of God, one of the cars I'm driving is about something million. I bought car for my wife. I'm living by the grace of God. I've grown. I'm not doing it yet. I'm not where I'm used to be. I'm finding my wife inside one room.
share the kitchen, share the toilet, so blessed in there.
We love your story, Mr. Steven.
So why would I be hiding? When I married my wife, we said to ourselves, no kissing, no sex. We did not have sex, we did not kiss before we married, and God helped us. So how can my wife, there's a lady that as an agent now, you are into real estate now, you know why you take a client now to see property, they can afford to love with you. So there's one of my friends that told me that you should be having sex. I told my wife, he said we should be doing occasional. He said, no, me, I don't like occasional thing. No. If I want to do something, I'll dive into it. So let's not go there, let's not do it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I did not, I thought my wife and I go, see what is happening. No. My children know my passport. My wife know my passport to my account. I'm a free man. I don't want to die young.
Man like Mr. Steven.
I don't have swallow drop for this. I'm a free man. I love God. I'm so peaceful. And all of that. I'm not hiding anything. I look at my point. So
thank you so much for your contribution. Man like Steven,
you can see that Mr. Steven really is in love with his wife, and we like to hear things like this. Like I said, even the love from there, he's shacking me. His love is shacking me. Sorry, let me just finish my thought. So, like I said before, the caller came in, that I want to ask this question, and by asking this question, I'm not trying to diss the men or to but women, it's when a man is on my matter. Or is trying to flirt with me. It's easy for me as a woman and my female friends I know to just know that someone is trying to flirt or someone is on my matter. But men always act elusive.
And they don't know.
Like they don't know, they are clueless. So my question is, please, are men actually clueless when a woman is being friendly and then and they have ulterior motive? Or is it that really you people are clueless, or is it that you people know but people just pretend? Because I don't get it. I find that most conversations that happen around things like this, where you have access to your spouse's phone or a message comes in, the person says, but I do not know, I do not even have an idea. How can you not have an idea? Look at the conversation going on, but you should know. So regardless of,
I think it's to say you don't know.
Right?
Any adult that say if no go school, because little things that we do in our homes, and you'll be surprised that your kids are already aware of this.
They can read emotional intelligence. Let me take George's call, who's called from Maryland, Lagos. Welcome to the show, George. Hello, are you there, George? You're live. Oh, okay, we've lost the call.
Okay, so let me share this, right? In marriage, all of us were married, but in marriage, there are some conversations that whether we like it or not, we keep away from each other. There's some information that you don't tell your spouse. And most especially if you know that information is going to cause problem in that marriage. I remember there was a time I was telling Nima, this is a personal story. You know, that time we used to check each other's phones and all of that. There was something that happened in the office. They were doing a job, you know, in the office, and, you know, all of them. So most times, my husband will contribute towards the house rent before he comes, or sometimes contribute towards school fees. You know, this is a conversation they had in the office, all of them. So I picked up the phone, and then I saw, you know, debit alerts. He sent money to somebody in the office. And, you know, I've been asking for money since. I've been asking for money. You know, and I saw the debit alert. I saw the debit alert, I was like,
and it is a
first of all, I was boiling. I was like, I have been asking him for money. He refused to give me the money, but look at him, he has sent money, and it was a lady's account. And I was like, look, he has sent money to somebody, you know, I was just fuming, just upset and all of that. And then, when he now came, I didn't say anything to him. I kept malice first of all. I was very annoyed.
Thank you for being honest.
I kept malice for like 3 days until later I now had to come out. I said, look, I have been asking you for money for so and so. You did not send money, but this is it. I screenshot the message and everything, and I said,
evidence full everywhere.
He now told me that is a job for the house rent that is coming up very soon. He now showed me other people's contribution to show to prove to me and everything. So I've noticed that every single time I check that phone and I see something,
just giving yourself attention.
I'll just give myself. So I now told myself, look, let me just. So there are some things that your husband will keep away from you that will benefit the entire family. Sometimes they don't need to tell you because
just trust.
No, I like
they don't need to tell you.
You know why I like it? It happens every beautiful home. You have a spouse. you have his password, he has your password. Once in a while, you go waka jam something. Maybe you're using the phone and the notification pops up and you're interested in it. I was recently, I said it on the show, Junior Boo, I hope you are watching. So me, I'm Senior Boo. And this message pops up and it was Boo. I was like, back in the days, my husband used to call me Boo. Who is the Boo? They didn't call me Boo. I said, who be the Boo? You know, and you're just giving me the phone to check something. And then I noticed, this is innocent thing. And the moment is, I was like, Abele in Tommy, you know, immediately I raised, I said, you don't give. I said, Boo, they send you notification. He just collected the phone, opened the phone and called Boo. So she now came on the phone and they were just yapping. They said, this, you know, people who are just friends. The first comment she dropped, I was like, I shouldn't have, because obviously they're friends. And she yaps him and yaps and said, whoa, somebody wants to talk to you. The moment they gave me phone, she said, Senior Boo, I'm so sorry, I did not know you were there. And the thing stuck. So tomorrow, whenever I out of Junior Boo, there was one day I used to call her my husband Smalley. In the kind of business that he is, he has to mentor a lot of young ones when they come in. That my husband Smalley, very fine girl, fine. Oh my nice girl. You know
how you manage it.
Exactly. I enjoy it. We become friends. All of them were friends. I'm friends to, if all of them, you're coming, I have names for everybody. The ones that they went to school together, they're all Bobo coming. And he works for me. Whenever I need something, remember one of our sponsors for one of our events, Bobo coming showed up with products that he had. So I enjoy that. One of my Bobo call used to give me fuel. Remember that one? Free fuel every time there's scarcity. I show up. Bobo come. Alaja, don't worry. Come. They will service my car. They'll do everything for me.
So what I'm saying is about learning how to manage the relationship.
So if you have any fear, because the devil can whisper immediately, address it with your spouse. See why I said, somebody, Boo is sending you a notification. You've got something that's come in my mind. A doubt has started. Rather than keep me for 3 days, 4 days. Remember early when I married my husband, there was a young lady. I noticed she would walk past me on the streets. There's a look this person gives me. I didn't know who she was. I was like, who is this person? Why are you looking at me direct? And then you walk past me. I started suspecting. So then I was off work for a whole year. I was nursing my first child. So one morning I went to my husband's car while he was still getting ready. I just carried this breakfast to the car. And then there was a young lady standing, resting her back on the car. I said, car with the register in my name. Who do you be? All the cars in this family is in Nima's name. Who do you be? You're gonna see me. I looked at her, she looked back. She felt embarrassed. And remembered her every evening, the person who gives me that stare, never says hi. And so when I came, I told my husband, I said, this one, her intentions are not pure. He said, no, I just used to help her. She came to me one day, are you going my way? And so she's been following me to work. I said, tell her the owner of the car don't like it. So that day, he called her. The next day, my husband confronts it immediately. And she was waiting for him. He said, come upstairs. Come and meet the owner of the car. And so she came in and she was acting all shy. But I knew from the one, because if the intentions were pure, my own style, she would have greeted me, madam, is your husband I follow? You know, it would have been open. But you give me a stare and then you walk past. And my husband, it later was proven that, you know, the intentions were not pure. But so there's things that you would see, but address it with your spouse. Just talk about it, really.
And it's so true. I love how our conversation has gotten away from just the idea of cheating to idea of building a healthy relationship. And that's the goal, because in a healthy relationship, even when things that can lead to breach of trust happens, it is resolved quickly. Let's dwell a bit more on resolution, because there are people that password has caused rifts in their marriages right now, and there's no pathway towards resolution. How do we start building the bridge? You gave us one. Bring in, if you have advice, if you have counselors, therapists as friends, invite them into the house. What else can be done to sort of build trust in a relationship? Amaka, you mentioned something during the break, but I'd like you to say it here. Okay. Putting the phone.
Okay, So just so you know, everything is simple psychology. If you're with your spouse and you're the person that if your phone rings, you rush into the toilet to go and answer call, to go and return call. You don't answer your calls in front of your spouse. You're constantly hiding. And you make the person uncomfortable. But if you're with your spouse and you drop your phone, you're comfortable living with them, you say, babe, please help me charge my phone and stuff. The person, it builds confidence, and you can take your calls in front of the person. And even if you don't want to have certain conversations in front of the person, you pick the phone and say, let me call you back. Or maybe certain video calls, you say, let me call you back. I'm with somebody, that kind of thing. It makes the person feel good about themselves. But the reality of the matter is that, no matter how much you police somebody, Someone that wants to be with you and wants to be faithful, you see, it has nothing to do with you. We need to understand that. It's not a you problem. It's not your doing. It doesn't mean that you're lacking something. If someone that wants to be with you will be with you, someone that wants to be faithful, someone that wants to cheat will find a way.
Find a way.
So it has absolutely nothing to do with you. And I don't think you want to be in a relationship where every day you're going back, you're having headache, you're having psychological issues and everything. Now, it's too much.
See, it's so easy that if this spouse does not eat, I eat my own and sleep.
Give yourself peace of mind.
For me, I will just avoid anything that will cause me any issue. So you just understand totally.
Don't want to even know the password.
Yes, I don't want to know. I believe you. I trust you.
Anything you say.
As long as whatever you are doing is not going to harm me or harm you. I just trust that everything you are doing, so that I can have my peace. Just like what Nima said. You see, that peace is very, very important. Internal peace. It helps with your mental health. Everything.
Full physical health.
Everything. So the best thing is just
let me take Adela.
Adela
is called in from Ekorodu. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
I'm calling to add one or two things to the topic for this morning. The thing is, in any relationship where there is no understanding and there is no trust, there's bound to be problems, not just the phone matters. The thing now is this: why will you hide your password from your spouse? God forbid, in case of emergency, you have access to so many things, and you have personalized it that the next person doesn't know. How will you get help? How? In my house, there's no password. The only people that don't have access, they have access to it, but they cannot take it without permission of the children. Between my husband and I, in fact, we bought a new phone yesterday. My fingerprint is the third authenticated password.
Again.
Because he uses his left, he uses his right. In case he's eating, he can use his right and left hand to open. And the third one is definitely mine. And same thing with my phone, because God forbid bad thing. If anything happens, we need to reach out financially in terms of call, and the phone has been passworded, and God forbid the person can't speak at that time. How do you come out of that situation? How? It was my son of 11 years old that told me one day, "Mommy, you are passwording your phone from us. My daddy not answer me. In case of an emergency, how do we open your phone to call my daddy?" Immediately, I gave them my password with the caution that you don't take my phone or your daddy's phone without permission. There's nothing to hide. You don't have skeleton in your cupboard. Due to that trust, let the understanding be sound. The devil cannot penetrate where there is love, peace, and harmony.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that.
Can I add something?
Yes, you can.
Okay, yeah, because I wanted to add something like, I used to be, because this had come up between some of my friends, right? So I used to be the person that, let's say, if I'm with somebody, like it happened with my ex, so I always keep my phone, like you said, we're out on a date, because I don't want to miss any notification or, meetings or, office alerts, right? So I used to I'll be talking or we're having a meal and I'm looking at my phone. And he found that very rude. So I learned from that because he felt like you're not giving me attention. You're not paying attention to me. You're being rude, we're on a date and you're constantly on your phone. So unconsciously, so moving forward after then, I learned that, I didn't even realize what I was doing. So if I'm with someone, for me to pay attention, I always place my phone, I always place the screen on my phone on the table so that I'm not distracted from the person, I don't want to be rude, I'm paying attention. So most times people do that not because they're hiding something, but out of respect for you.
So, do we have messages? Please let's take the messages on YouTube, on Instagram, not Instagram, sorry, on Twitter. One of the things that I find very comforting when it comes to conversations is that you have to learn to have difficult conversations. The more difficult it is, the stronger your marriage or relationship would be. If you are in a relationship and you avoid having difficult conversations, life will come with its challenges. You have not allowed yourself the opportunity to grow from those challenges. I was gisting, I did Beboro yesterday because I wasn't at work. And afterwards I said, this is Beboro, this is Petio. That was how we entered lecture. like it was a gist that I'll probably have with a girl, and it will not even become a lecture. But having it with him, it became like a lecture. I felt like, oh, why did I even start this conversation? It was a difficult conversation to have. He called me out on some things that I knew I needed to change, but I was not willing to change it yet. And in having that conversation, when other difficult things come, because we've already discussed some challenging ones, it becomes easier to deal with. So
the hard conversations.
Hard conversations must be hard if you want to. If you want to live a life of ease, you must get comfortable doing hard things. Hard things might be overlooking your spouse's phone. Hard things might be seeing a message that pop up and you'll be like, I'm not going to look at it because I want to maintain my peace of mind. It's a hard thing to do, but it will give you long-term ease. It's only in the case of emergency that you can say, okay, I need to get into that person's phone or for one reason or the other.
You want to say somebody is already. When you say, Tokwe, I love your person, but I now look the name, not the man. Beatrice. So Beatrice. I say he's gonna block you. Emmanuel Ogumola says, if I get an admirer and two-star or someone flirting with me at work, I tell my wife, one called me boring. My response was, I am supposed to be a boring lady. I am married. Trust is a big responsibility. Emmanuel says, I know my wife's my wife 2 phones password and she knows mine.
Brick House Capital says, a mature man is far more motivated by love and friendship than he is about lust. Your wife sees you when you're sick, down, or have had a bad day at work. The babes outside only see you at your best. It's fake.
So Fiona says that's why Nima's husband is a good. Okay. So Brick House, thank you, Fiona. Brick House Capital says, look, nobody can stop your spouse from cheating, even if you have all their password and even their DNA. Your spouse is the one who must decide from within them that cheating is not an option. I agree.
All right, so ladies, we've had a very interesting conversation from the first topic to the second one, and there's just so much to learn, and that's why we are the #1 breakfast show, because we discuss things in a way that it can never be discussed on other platforms. From our first topic where we discussed concerning healthcare and the importance of asking questions. I remember I was seen as the Google pregnant woman because I always came for antenatal with a list of questions I'd researched on Google. It might seem like you're doing too much, but always ask questions. It's a big deal. And if you feel uncomfortable with any medical procedure, please, you can ask for another medical personnel to be with you, take advantage. And to our second topic concerning trust and passwording phone, obviously, share your password with your partner. If you love somebody, don't hold back your password from the person. And if you have the person's password, don't go snooping. Don't go and find what you don't want to see. Gift the person the same trust they have given you by giving the password. And I loved Nima's comment on respecting yourself as well. Protect your marriage, protect your relationship. Do not do things that would jeopardize what you hold there. Don't carry relationships anyhow. And on that note, we have finished Your View for this week, but we still have Your View Pidgin tomorrow. So you'll join the ladies of Your View Pidgin tomorrow for another interesting show. We'll hear from us next week, Monday. Bye for now.